So, top coats. We've got a few now, but we're here to talk about HTT, the new one. What is this new top coat technology then, Rich?
Ooh, okay. Well, I'm going to sort of, I'm not swerving that one. I'm just going to add to this slide because we're just looking at sort of at the bottom there. We've got Awlgrip where we started sort of 40 years ago. Then we've got Allcraft 2000, our acrylic urethane, the polishable and repairable system. Then we moved into our base coat and clear systems. So that sort of told us a story. We had SE, but what happened with SE is that everyone wanted a more robust, higher gloss clear coat to go over the top. And that was really, I guess, the start of HDT. We developed it as a clear coat right at the start of the journey. And what's happened, because it's proven to be such a great product, we've now produced a single stage version as well. But it's basically, again, a 3-stage product. It's high volume solids. I could probably talk about this product for hours, very close to my heart. I was part of the development team and going along with it. So it's I love this product. I think it's great.
Brilliant. Okay, well, I know there's some differences. So let's start off with what does HDT do for the boat owner?
Okay, well, actually, sorry, I'm looking at other questions, and actually that's a really good slide because our customers are different, aren't they? And the needs are different. You've got a difference between the applicator and a difference to the owner. So if we look at the owner, I guess one of the biggest advantages of this product is its color retention. It knocks the others out of the park. We do a system where we do UV testing and color retention, and we test the product, and it is far superior. And our products are good, but this is far superior to anything we have in the range. So that whole longevity and color is a huge improvement. And a lot of that is also to do with the new technology and the way we make the paint as well. We have a different system to how we conventionally made our Allcraft and our G-line product before.
Okay. And what about warranties on that side? Because I heard some stories about some really long warranties.
Yeah, there's a different warranty for different products actually, Simon, on there. So we can offer a longer warranty for the base coat and clear system. That's using the HDT clear, so up to 36 months. And then on the single stage, we can go for 24 months with our warranty. And that's compared to the standard G and F line warranties of previous of 18 months. So what we're really looking at is prolonging the life of the paint, which sounds crazy for a paint manufacturer and probably not the best news for any applicators out there. But, you know, customers want stuff to last longer. So I'm going to skip into the next bit on that slide, if I may. What does this offer for the applicator? Well, it's repairable. We touched on that before. The base coat and clear system is repairable. So even if the yacht is being looked after really well, but they've got any sort of little bit of damage here and there from foot traffic or the odd graze from docking, then we're able to repair it. And that gives us an opportunity as applicators to sort of use it in another part of our business for the ease of repair, which I think is a big advantage as well.
Well, if this is repairable and polishable, is it going to replace Allcraft 2000 then?
I knew you were going to say that.
Sorry.
No, it's not. I mean, I think I'm going to touch on there. It's one of those things. It was developed for a reason. It was developed because people wanted a more robust, harder finish. But if you're knowingly going to flatten polish your boat because you suffer from your environment, or that is part of your paint standard, and there are manufacturers out there that want their boats fully flat and polished, I would stick with Allcraft. It is a fantastic product. This is harder to polish, but it is polishable. It's probably going to take you as third as long again to polish HDT compared to Allcraft. But there's a definite place for each product.
Okay, so it's polishable. So what you're saying is, and it was a loaded question slightly because I'm being cruel to you, but what we're saying is that it's great for taking maybe a little bit of dust out or a little spot out of something. But if you want a polished finish at the end of it, stick with the Allcraft.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
You're enjoying that, aren't you? Trying to.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I'm picking on you. I do apologise. I haven't seen you for too long. That's what it is. G-Line. I mean, is it going to take over from G-Line? You're talking about colour retention and gloss retention higher than G-Line. You know, do you think is it going to take over from G-Line? Are you taking G-Line off the market?
Absolutely not. No. So let's talk about a couple of bits on there. We talked about it being higher volume solids. It has a different look to G-Line. It has more of a long wave than a short wave, if you want me to be really nerdy about it. So aesthetically, there's a slightly different look. But the point is, G-Line is still a popular product. It's a beautiful product, works really well. So it's about choice. You know, there's a thing called natural selection, isn't there, in life? If in 5 years' time we find we're not selling G-Line because everyone wants HDT, then we may consider our options. But at this point, this is not a replacement product. It's a sort of a term that I use quite a lot, but it's an extra tool in our toolbox. It's another product out there to give the customer and the end user what they want.
We were talking about the applicator and what they like about it. I'm hearing some pretty good about some pretty amazing results off the gun coming over from Europe and North and South, the Med and Northern Europe. And what are we getting? What results are we getting off the gun?
Good results. I mean, it can be mixed, but that can be down to the applicator. And, you know, this is one of those things always difficult, isn't it? You know, there are so many different parties involved in even just putting the product down. There's the paint manufacturer, there's the person putting it on there, there's the environment. But it's shown to be a pretty forgiving product. Is probably a really good one for the applicators to know. Very similar painting to Allcraft that we have now. It's not as sensitive as G-Line. Whether that's the right word to use, that can be taken out of context. But what I mean is, any of us that have sprayed G-Line, we know that it, you know, if you get it wrong, it'll run. But if you get it right, it's pristine. So it's quite a forgiving product. But as I say, you know, it has a different look and a different feel. But off the gun, get a great finish. If you sand it and re-clear it in the base coat and clear system, an amazing finish, like a sheet of glass.
Now, talking to people that have been sanding it and have been finishing it, you'll be talking about it's you know, it takes longer to polish a compound and polish than Allcraft. Actually, talking to the guys that the applicators were complaining about how long it took to sand. This is the toughness of it and the hardness of it. You know, hardness and toughness are things, but it really is up there on the toughness stakes. You know, up near a G-Line, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you can't have it all in life, can you? You can't ask for the most resilient, toughest paint and then be able to lightly dust it and breathe on it and it's polished. It just doesn't work that way. But one of the big advantages of this base coat and clear system, if I may just touch on that one, because of the high volume solids, you can apply the clear coat in 2 coats. So you don't need the 3 coats that you might need in Allcraft, as an example, to reach the same film thickness. So that's less laps around the boat. So, you know, the most expensive thing in everything that we do is labor. The products and the parts obviously play a part of that. But if we can reduce the labor, then we're going to help the applicator to maximize their profit. We're going to have a beautiful shiny boat at the end of it, giving the owner the warranties they want, and the story goes on. And I think this is why it's got such a good reputation.
And I think it's everyone. I know the Marineware customers listening today will be pleased to hear that there is new technology and there are great new things coming out. But I think they'll also be pleased to hear that the old stalwarts are going nowhere for the moment. So that's really good. This is a project you worked on in the States, isn't it?
Yeah. So this is Motor Yacht Melinda. Beautiful picture, actually. So it's single stage HDT on the superstructure, and then the blue that you can see there with the boot line is base coat and clear, and you can, you know, you look at the reflection from the water to see how good it looked. And this is you know, don't forget, this is a first time applicator using HDT. We might have done a couple of panels with them, but this was shot in anger, first time, looked amazing. So yeah, a really good product as far as I'm concerned.
Brilliant, thank you. Let's see what Chris can catch us out with on the question front now.
The first one I quite like. If it's so hard, can you put Griptex in it and use it as non-skid?
Well, yeah, all of our top coats. That's a good question, actually, isn't it? I like that. Good thinking, whoever that was. Yes, of course you can, and yes, the paint has an effect on how strong that finish is, because the The Griptex is just an aggregate, of course, and it's the resin of the paint that encapsulates it and makes it strong. So yeah, the HDT is a good option. You can do it whatever way you want. You can put it in the product, or you can dry spray it and put a sort of a clear coat over the top. But yes, it's a good question.
And one more. You say it's high solids. Does that make it a low VOC paint?
Oh yeah, didn't say that, did I? So one of the big things on this, it's a VOC compliant product below 420 grams. That's hit the US quite convincingly. I know we're sort of talking Europe now and all of us, but actually, VOC usage has a bearing on all of us in our paint shops. So this can be a big driver, can even be a driver for the owner at the end of it to say, look, they want these sort of more environmentally friendly products. But the low VOCs, high volume solids, it's up there. It's a product having the best attributes of G and F line: repairability, polishable, high gloss, strong, VOC compliant. It's almost magic.
Talking about the single stage HDT, does that have the set colors the same as the color?
Yeah, we've gone with the high volume colors initially, but we're sort of increasing the volume of colors that we have, but we've gone with all the sort of fast moving ones, Chris. So your flag blue, the majestic, all those sort of things, and we can build on that product range as we go.
Oh, just to add to that, Rich, am I not right? I think the black in HDT black is actually blacker than Superjet black in Allcraft, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really extreme black, we call it now. It's probably the new blacker black. No, but it's beautiful. It's very pure. If you actually put it next to the old Superjet black has a slight brown hue to it, where this one is really sort of a pure black, if that makes sense. It's a strange way of putting an analogy, but if you put them next to each other, you'll see what I mean. And when we started spraying with the sort of extreme black, it looked really amazing, really clean, really glossy. And if you put it next to Superjet black, you can just see a slightly brown hue from the Superjet black, but you wouldn't know individually on their own if they were sort of a meter apart, but you see it when you put them together.
And I'm sorry, I'm taking over here, but you mentioned about the clear coat going on in 2 coats. Can you put the single stage colors on in 2 coats?
Well, you have to manage that expectation, really, Simon. That's the key thing, and the beauty of all the products we've been showing you today with quick build and all those sort of things, because actually the sort of technical line from Awlgrip is that you would need 75 microns of paint. And the reason they talk about 75 microns is for that protection, for that UV protection. However, there are certain colors, and it's not just unique to us, that require more paint to get opacity. So opacity is the key thing. We need opacity for it to look right. So potentially, yes, you could do it in 2 coats, but you need to be consistent in your color. So extreme black, for instance, no reason why you couldn't do that. It's got such good coverage. Could you do it with a white? Not necessarily, depending on the color. And I hope that sort of makes sense. And that's not an Awlgrip thing or Akzo Nobel thing. That is just color in general. That's how they work.
Perfect.